Jesus was sent into the world. He was not of it, and we are in a similar place. Not of the world, but sent into the world. Christ says it himself right here. I have given them your word, speaking to his Father, and the world has hated them, for they are not of the world any more than I am of the world. Not of the world. It's true. My prayer is not that you would take them out of the world, that you would protect them from the evil one. They are not of the world, even as I am not of it. Sanctify them by the truth. Your word is truth. As you sent me into the world, I have sent them into the world. It doesn't sound like separate, does it? Sent into the world. And then we just have to look at Jesus' life. Any one of you could come and you could just run your finger through the gospel and pick a story of Christ's interaction with someone. And what you will find there is not separation and distance, but proximity and embrace. Let's pick one. John chapter 4, low-hanging fruit in the same gospel, and we've talked about it before. The woman at the well. Someone Jesus shouldn't have been talking to for many reasons. First, he was a man and a rabbi. Never should be talking to this woman. Second, she was mixed race. Should have nothing to do with her. He was from the pure one, from the house of Israel, and she was not. Third, she doesn't worship the same. Fourth, she was a sex worker, promiscuous, in different ways, doing things that were not spoken of and not welcome. Fifth, he was on his way somewhere more important. And here he is, and he sits down. Doesn't just chat, isn't just polite, but stays and speaks with her. And his disciples, as they usually are aghast and indignant. Why are you talking to her? Because he was sent into the world. Being connected and having a strong connection to those around us does not mean we agree with what people do, that we agree with how they and who they worship, that we condone the lifestyle choices that they make. It doesn't mean any of those things, but it does mean we have a shared loyalty of humanity. We all were of the world at one point in time. And there is a shared loyalty, should be among us as humans, and a desire to keep a connection strong so that we can share the life of Christ by being sent into the world and having proximity to those around us. Not justifying separation and our own pursuits, and doing our own thing, because we have to be separate. In and not of means I need to be, we need to be close like Jesus and personal and chat and look people in the eye and without judgment. If there's a skill I have, I think it's a skill that maybe the church broader has. We've got this skill of conveying judgment without even saying anything. If the church can have side eye, man, we've perfected it. And yet we forget, how many times in Matthew did Jesus say, do not judge? How many times? Over and over and over and over and over again. But we're comfortable in that position at times. I'm hoping today that those of us, myself, I'm preaching to me, that struggle a little bit with that, we'd be uncomfortable with it. It's not Christ-like. Jesus spoke with the woman at the well and engaged with her and talked to her and cared about her enough to know her story and tell her even what her story was and took a risk. And then he stayed there. And then the disciples are like, what are you doing? We got to get out of this place. And then she brought all her friends to come and talk with Jesus. And he talked with them. That's the kingdom of God. That's being sent into the world. And Jesus has sent us with what? The truth. For those of you that are concerned, and rightly so, that at times we're going to move away from the core biblical beliefs. No, we can't do that. That's the core. That's what gives us the structure, that it lets us exist and have the power of the Spirit among us. And we can't run away from those things. But being sent into the world doesn't mean we run away from those things. I think it means we lean on those structures more and derive strength from them. And that truth in action about love and God is love and all the other things becomes that much more important because we are sent and we need to rely on that truth.